Hi everyone, this is Julie and welcome to day 8 of our pranayama stroke breathwork practice. Today I'm going to switch it up a little bit. All the breathworks we've done in the last sort of first half of the sort of 7 days, the 14 days, has been more to do with calming the body. Now we're going to be moving up a little bit. There are lots of breaths that can stimulate as well. So this is, it's a bit of a both one actually, this one. This sort of calms and it stimulates at the same time. So with any breath, obviously if we're doing an out breath that's slightly longer than the in breath, that will help calm the body down, which is what this does. So it's actually really good for centering your body as well. It does take a little bit of practice, this one though. So the reason why I've chosen this one is because it is so effective. It's actually called Ujjayi breathing or victorious breath. So the best way to describe it is in yoga, when we do pranayama in yoga, you tend to use locks in your body. Now, I didn't really want to go too much into the depths of pranayama because there are lots of locks that you use, and what the locks do, they create energy sort of, they hold energy in the body. So the three main locks we use in yoga are the root lock, the belly lock, and then the throat lock. So this one actually uses a throat lock. So it doesn't sound as bad as it's not as bad as it sounds. But what we're trying to do is close off certain areas. So if it was the root lock, we'd pull up from the perineum. If it was the belly, if it was the middle sort of area, we'd pull into the belly. And this one we're going to sort of tighten up the throat. So I don't know if obviously some people do yoga, some people don't. But sometimes if you're in a yoga class, you can hear people doing Ujjayi breath. So it's quite a loud breath. And it reminds me, it's actually called an ocean breath as well. So it does sound a bit like the sea. It also sounds a little bit like Darth Vader. So you can imagine that sort of, it's a bit like when you start to snore and you wake up, it's that sort of sound. So we're trying to do it actually without the breath first of all. So if you can imagine in your throat, what you're trying to do is almost close up your throat. It's a really odd feeling. So you may want to just drop the chin a little bit towards the chest, not all the way, just locking it a little bit. So just drop the chin down a little bit and just see if you can almost close the throat up a little bit. It does take a little bit of thought and practice to do that. So just almost like you're trying to tighten around the throat area. It's quite a subtle feeling. And then you release it. See if we can just tighten it up again. So just to very gently tighten up the throat. It's almost like you're really inside, almost trying to pull the vocal cords sort of a little bit tighter. It's sort of around this area here, just at the front of the throat. It's very, very subtle. And then releasing that. Okay, so there is a very subtle difference between the two. If you can't get that sort of throat lock sort of feeling, you might find you'll actually automatically come because we need to focus on that area. So this is a really good way because it does bring focus to the body because it's a lot more focus, it's a lot more concentration that you'll need to do to actually do this one. So we're going to focus on this sort of area because we're using diaphragmatic breathing as well. Obviously we're going to work through the whole of the lungs. It's really good for digestive system as well because we do use quite a lot of force down here into the diaphragm, but we obviously need to focus on this sort of area of breathing. So we're going to just close up the throat a little bit. So you're breathing through the nose, both in and out through the nose, but we're going to sort of bring the air up over those tight vocal cords. So again, you might want to just get yourself nice and settled. It's definitely an upright one for this one. So closing the mouth, so closing the throat up, closing your eyes. I don't know if I can do this actually with a really bunged up nose, but we'll give it a bash. So just very slowly, just closing the chin down a little bit just to get that sensation in your throat. So breathing in through the nostrils. And then breathing out. It's quite a loud breath. Mine was actually getting stuck on the way in because I can't breathe very well through my nose. So it's a really weird snorting noises coming from me. That's probably why. So again, just try that one again. So again, if you need to blow the nose before you start, that's also a good thing to do. So just bring the chin down a little bit. Just almost feel as if you're locking that throat up a little bit. Breathing in. And out. So I can hear from me, but it's a little bit louder. So what we're trying to do when you're doing yoga with this one, it just brings more focus into the body, so you're actually being more aware of your breath, but also it allows you to go a little bit deeper into yoga poses, which is sort of why you do it. So it does require that focus, but equally, as well as being calming and slowing the heart rate down and your blood pressure, because obviously you don't worry too much about the ratios, breathing in and breathing out. If you can manage a little bit longer on the out breath, that's fine. Obviously there's lots to think about with this one. So eventually you'll actually get to breathing in for shorter time and then breathing out for a longer time. So it does calm the body down, but equally it actually brings heat into the body as well. So it's a really good way of invigorating as well. So you're building a lot more heat, you're bringing a lot more energy, you're bringing strengthening the lungs as well. So again, it just really balances up quite a lot of the body. It's it's actually a really, really good energizing breath, but it is quite difficult to get the hang of. So, it's just a case of just nice and tall, just close the throat up. So just drop the chin a little bit so you get more of a sensation in that throat area. It sounds a bit like as if you're about to snore, or it sounds like an ocean, which is also it's called an ocean breath, or you sound a bit like Darth Vader. You've got it right. So I will let you practice with that one for a little bit. It does take a little bit of practice, but let me know. I'd be interested in your thoughts on that one, because it is a really nice one to learn. So again, calming, invigorating, stimulating at the same time. A bit of heat in the body, which is what we need at the moment. It also clears the sinuses as well, which is hard to believe when you're totally bunged up. So anyway, I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.